Well, listening to, excuse me, the way that the universe talks to me, I don't know, but I'm just going to put it out there and wait and see what comes of it, if anything does. I do know the universe talks to me, and sometimes it likes to get me messages in cute little unexpected ways, like when I began breaking out in a rash underneath of my armpits again. And initially it was after a massage, and I was like, oh, well, maybe she accidentally used essential oils, because I'm allergic to essential oils, and I always let, massage therapists know not to, that I need stuff for sensitive skin. And, I began breaking out in a rash underneath my armpits, similar to what happened when I started getting the symptoms for my breast implant illness. And initially I just was like, oh, it's, she accidentally used essential oils. I put some cortisone cream on it, went about my day, and the rash super flared up, and I was like, okay, this is definitely not, I'm not getting the message. It's definitely, not that. What is it? And then I went on one date, and the guy asked me, oh, do you have any tattoos? And, so I answered the question, not really thinking anything of it. And then I went out on a second date, and he asked me the same question, oh, so do you have any tattoos? And I was like, okay, universe, I am listening. I know you like to speak to me in messages, and okay, it is now time to get the remaining 1.5 tattoos removed from my body. And it was almost like as soon as I acknowledged that that's what needed to be done, the rash stopped getting worse and cleared up pretty quickly before getting the tattoos removed. It was enough for my soul to calm down and be like, okay, you're listening. Cool. So I go out on a date on Friday night, and we're out to dinner, and he has a daughter who is 20 and a daughter who is 10, and he's talking to me about the 20-year-old, and that when him and his significant other at the time got pregnant, they were just dating, and she ended up breaking up with him while she was pregnant, and so he ended up having to establish paternity after the child was born, and he did. And he was talking to me and saying that in Arizona they start off with very minimal visitations for a dad, that they start off with 2 hours a week for the first year, and then 4 hours per week. I think it was something very minimal like that, 4 hours per week for the second year, and working his way up until he had more. And I was telling my relationship coach about my date, and just kind of recapping, and it dawned on me what he had said, and me seeing the Tanner doppelganger recently, Tanner being Lily's dad, my youngest, of which there is no paternity established. And it got me wondering if the universe is prepping me for a possible return of Tanner in our lives. Seeing the doppelganger, really triggered me. I felt very, very freaked out, went into freeze mode, was able to reground quickly once I realized, oh, totally not Tanner. But then realizing oh shit, I have some stuff to work through. If I freak out and get scared thinking I see Tanner, and working through it with my relationship coach, instead of living in fear and the what if could happen, sitting in all the bad stuff that could happen to Lily, instead flipping it and acknowledging, okay, those are my worst fears. Okay, and what if his coming back into our lives is for, like, Lily's highest good and my highest good? And what if, what if he does come back? What if we flip the script and look at it from a positive light? What could that mean? Well, it could mean one more person to show my daughter love, and it could mean a little bit more time to myself without her there, and it could mean financial support through child support, which I'm not currently receiving any because there is no paternity established. He's not involved in her life and our life at all. So, coming up with the positives instead. And then also, I felt like this might have been a message from the universe saying, well, when he does come back into your lives, don't freak out. It'll start off slow and it'll build up slowly from there. So, just putting it out there again, we shall see what or if anything comes from this. But I do sometimes wonder, and I do wonder if that's a message. So, guys, you will have to stay tuned. And I will keep you posted if something does end up coming to fruition on that end. I hope y'all are having a wonderful, lovely day, and I love you.